What's up, y'all? So, this is the South Got Something to Say. I'm your boy, King No Rep. And I just wanted to, take some time out. I'll probably start trying to do more of these lives from time to time, just to kind of share my thoughts on, different current events that's going on, different focus areas. So if you're not familiar with the brand, just to kind of give that overview. So the South Got Something to Say. It's a media platform. We are based in hip hop, all things hip hop culture, not just focusing on artists, but definitely focusing on business, technology, finance. Uh, I'm an ex HBCU band member, so definitely, into the HBCU culture, HBCU band life. Shout out to all the HBCUs out there. I personally went to school in the SWAC. Shout out UAPB, who just had their homecoming, I think, a couple weeks ago, whatever. Yes, my 20th anniversary. So, too cold, crank. Shout out info, the whole info. But shout out to all the schools, Southern Grambling, J State. Probably the most popular right now is J State because of Coach Prime. So, shout out to all the HBCUs out there, everybody that's out there doing their thing. Much love and respect to y'all. Um, so yeah, we'll cover an array of topics. Just kind of staying abreast of current events and social media and social commentary and hip hop culture. We'll share some old artists, kind of keep up with what they're doing. Hopefully, get some more interviews going on from older artists, newer artists, up and coming artists, business people. Pretty much cover the entire gambit. So that'll be dope. So today, I guess the big conversation though today is about Kanye West. So obviously, I have this quote and this picture of the late great Malcolm X. If you're not tapped in with Malcolm X, definitely do some due diligence, do some research, get up on Malcolm, get up on Mr. Farrakhan, get up on a lot of information. I'm not condoning any particular religion or point of view. I'm just telling you some of the things I rock with. So this particular quote though has always been an interesting one to me. It says, "This media and irresponsible media. It will make the criminal look like he's the victim and make the victim look like he is the criminal. And if you aren't careful, the media will have you hating the people who you're oppressed by and loving the people who are doing the oppressing." And this sort of propaganda tactic that I would call psychological warfare. So that's just a general quote from the late great Malcolm X. Again, rest in power to the good brother Malcolm. So I chose that particular quote because I think it really sums up a lot of what's going on nowadays, man. It's a lot of just craziness out here. Each day we're kind of bombarded with new takes, new perspectives, new outrage, if you will. So a lot is going on in this crazy world in the United States specifically, but worldwide. And again, this platform will cover some of those different areas of focus. But today, again, we're gonna talk about Kanye West. Um, Disclaimer with my brand, with this particular brand, I would like to look at myself as a brand of integrity or a brand, a media platform that focuses on integrity, focuses on positive information. Um, for lack of a better term, I don't really want to cover a lot of foolishness or fuckery, if you will. Um, and that's something that I do want to kind of maintain. I want to maintain the integrity of my brand. I'm a proud black man, come from a very proud family, and just some things morally I just don't rock with. Um, Also, at times I guess I can be a bit of a conspiracy theorist or contrarian, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, I kind of view things differently from time to time. But I morally I think I kind of know what's right and what's wrong. So no need to dive or divulge too much as far as that goes right now. But I've chose this particular quote because everybody's giving their opinion and their backlash or what have you from the Drink Champs interview that Kanye just did. And yeah, I think that, okay, I'll just say I think that Kanye is he's very excessive. He's very outspoken. He's very Kanye, man. There's only one Kanye West. Some people label Kanye a genius. Some people label him as a number of different things. I particularly don't like the term crazy because I think that there's a quote from Dave Chappelle from a while back, speaking on his own situation, and I won't go into all the detail, but he did basically the nutshell of the quote is, the worst thing you can do is call someone crazy because it's dismissive. It kind of debunks or discredits that person. I'm paraphrasing, but the quote is something like that. And I think that can be very true, especially in terms of how things are presented to us. I think that when we're dealing with media, and as I get more into this media business and creating a media platform, I understand the importance of messaging. I understand the importance of presenting ideas in a certain way, and I understand how good or bad that can be. I understand how detrimental it is. So with the situation with Ye, Ye said some stuff that was out of pocket. Let me say that first and foremost. The comments about George Floyd, those were just out of pocket. I think he was quoting, or he was talking about something that he watched on a documentary from Candace Owens. Again, I'm not going to be political on here. This is not my thing. I don't really want to, talk about politics or divulge how I feel about politics or any of that. But I think that Ye's information, as far as that goes, it's a bit misguided. Well, it's very misguided. I think that anybody that witnessed the George Floyd video, we know the facts that was presented to us surrounding that whole incident. They understand what happened. It's pretty clear what happened. The world saw what happened. We got a lot of outrage that came from that situation. A lot of dope movements, a lot of quote unquote kumbaya type moments. But then there was a lot of reflecting on this country and where our state of our country is. So for Kanye to ultimately kind of discredit that, that was hurtful. That was irresponsible. I can't rock with that. I don't jack that. I don't support that. I think that I don't know what his purpose of saying that was. I don't know what his agenda was saying that was. But yeah, that was out of pocket. I totally cannot co-sign that whatsoever. I don't agree with that whatsoever at all. But what I will say is, Kanye, as Kanye often does, Kanye does make a lot of interesting points. That's the word I use. He makes a lot of interesting points. Again, I'm not going to repeat a lot of that rhetoric because, I'm presenting this on a platform that I don't own. So, there's policies and procedures that come along with that. But, some of the things he said, I think can be true. He works in the industry that is controlled by certain people. And again, that's not for me to regurgitate or make a judgment on. He definitely has more insight into the industry than I do. So I can't say if he's right or wrong. But some of those comments, along with the George Floyd thing, I'm not, trying to diminish or discredit either side. Some of those comments are labeled in a certain way. Specifically, they're labeled as being anti-Semitic, and they're causing a lot of backlash. I guess my point that I'm trying to get to is, I think that sometimes I never really got the point of just generally speaking, especially in our culture and hip hop culture and Black culture, what have you. When we are outraged by something, we have a tendency to talk about it and post about it and share the content and blah, 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 blah. We got to let the whole world know how mad we are, etc. I think that that's counterproductive because if you're really outraged about something, it's like if you got a bad kid that is obviously acting out, why reward this kid or give this kid, more attention if he's acting out and you're trying to, get him out of that habit. So I think that we totally just don't agree with what Ye was talking about in terms of any of those subjects, anything he talked about, bro. If you don't agree with it, then why post it? Why share it? Why comment on it? Why bring more attention to it? That's why I get confused at. And then on the flip side of that, let's just call a spade, bro. Like, because I'm a huge hip hop fan. Obviously, I kind of pay attention. I tap in with all the different platforms out there. So I've seen Nori on Breakfast Club this morning. I've seen him on Drink Champs. I've seen it on social media, kind of, addressing this all day. But at the end of the day, I feel like, man, let's just say what it is. Nori knew what he was doing. Nori wasn't able to control Kanye in that interview. I don't think there's too many people, period, that can control Kanye, and that's another conversation as well. Because I don't think nobody needs to control him. He's a grown man, but I think that he may not have the best people around him, and I think that that could be addressed, and I think it should be addressed just straight up. If we really love that brother, and we really got love for Kanye, because I like to view Kanye as like kind of like your cousin, man, your crazy cousin that just kind of he be tripping sometimes, but you still love him. And I know for a lot of people, it's been very hard for people to love Ye in recent times, and I totally get that. Again, I don't condone a lot of stuff he does and says, and a lot of his antics. I think is very dangerous, but we can't hold him 100% responsible without acknowledging some of the other powers that be, and specifically Drink Champs, specifically the media at large, for continuing this conversation. If you paid attention, bro, like every day has been some type of information about Kanye West. Kanye is like the new, he's like the new Donald Trump, where he's in the news every day, and everybody's so quote unquote outraged. Everybody's so upset, but we're continuing to give him a platform, push his narrative. So that's, to me, is counterproductive. Even like I said, Nori went on these various platforms and radio shows and stuff like that, and again, they were giving him a platform to apologize, but let's just call a spade a spade. They brought Nori on there to talk about how irresponsible he was, or try to insinuate how irresponsible he was by allowing Kanye to make those comments. But they're also profiting off those same comments and that same conversation as well. So who's really the bad guy here? Who's really at fault? And who's going to be held accountable? Because I think at this point, everybody should be held accountable. Nobody's worse than the other one. If we're going to shun Kanye or shun Nori or shun EFN or whoever for allowing Ye to get up there and make his speech and talk about whatever he wants to talk about, then we got to keep that same energy across the board. That's just my 2 cents right now. Again, this is just kind of an introductory video, just to kind of get y'all familiar with the platform, some of the things we'll be discussing here. And yeah, thanks for listening. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. This is the South Got Something to Say. I'll holler at you next time.